Now, the war in Iraq has been, in my judgment, the greatest national security disaster in American history. And it isn't one in which we got sucked in and had to defend ourselves. It was an entirely voluntary error. This administration unwisely went into Iraq on inaccurate grounds. The cause of the disaster is internal, it is ethnic and political, and a whole range of other things within Iraq. It is not a lack of American firepower. So to try to resolve this disaster by taking the advice of the people who created the disaster and have been wrong about it would be a terrible error, and I hope the resolution passes.
The invasion of Iraq and the taking of Baghdad in record time with very low casualties has been described by most military leaders as being a remarkably efficient and effective operation. I don't think the gentleman can say that there have been no ripples whatsoever in the Middle East with respect to freedom and democracy and people wanting to be free as a result of the elections in Iraq. There clearly has been was action in Libya where they moved lots of parts of their nuclear weapons program, which are now residing in the United States, I think as a result of American actions there. Clearly actions toward freedom, toward ejecting the Syrians from Lebanon and moving toward multi-party elections in Egypt.
Gentleman from Massachusetts.
The gentleman from California wants to claim Iraq as a success. He's entitled to do that. I must say that the initial victory was a very deceptive one because it led to the current situation. But the biggest difference between us, I guess, is when he cites Lebanon as one of the successful ripples, as he says. In fact, the terrible tragedy that went on in Lebanon, that was initially something that was promising. We've had that war with Hezbollah in control in Israel. I think Lebanon is a further sad example of the extent to which this misguided and badly run operation in Iraq has sadly strengthened the most radical and anti-American forces in the Middle East, not weakened them.
My last point wasn't that Lebanon is California or New York or Massachusetts. My last point was that the free elections in Iraq inspired the Lebanese to work to eject the Syrian influence, which I think the gentleman would agree was not a good influence in Lebanon and inspired people to want to be free.
Does the gentleman consider Lebanon Syria free today?